Let's kick things off by diving into how building your mindset is the bedrock of a solid habit empire. It starts with wiring your beliefs, like defining your identity first and then setting clear outcomes and tactics. That way, you
Right,
form a foundation that supports even the tiniest daily actions.
exactly. So if you're saying identity over outcomes, over tactics, it's like picking a filter through which every action is measured. Kind of like affirming, I'm the kind of person who keeps small promises daily, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like when your identity is clear, you're more likely to repeat those small actions without relying too much on willpower. And then you move on to what they call the four builders, making habits obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying, with their inverses for breaking bad habits.
Uh-huh. That's clever. If you want to break a habit, you just hide the cue or add some friction. I mean, it's an intuitive way to rewire behavior, yes?
Absolutely. It creates a system where your environment itself works in your favour. And then they introduce this neat concept of lead and lag indicators. You're tracking what you control daily, like minutes spoken, steps taken, or deep work blocks, and letting the lag indicators, like grades or weight, catch up later.
Yep. Which makes sense because those immediate, controllable actions are the real drivers of change. Now, I find the anti fragile rules part really interesting too. Never miss twice, start lines rather than deadlines, and defaulting to a minimum. It's a really kind of compassionate way to keep yourself on track, isn't it?
Right, it's like saying, if you slip up just once, get right back on with a mini version of the habit. It emphasises progress over perfection and makes you resilient, especially when life throws a curveball.
Yeah. And then there's that mindset reframe. Motivation follows action. It's like once you start, maybe with a 2-minute action, your mood improves and suddenly the task doesn't feel so heavy.
Definitely. It's like start tiny, and then that small win builds a cascade of momentum, much like placing one brick at a time until you've built an empire.
Uh huh. But I gotta ask, don't you sometimes think that reducing habits to minimal actions might, risk underestimating the complexity of some goals?
That's a fair point. However, the strategy is really about overcoming inertia. By having a minimum viable habit, a 2-minute start, you bypass the overwhelm. It's like the gateway that eventually scales into more quality and even quantity.
Right. And then the roadmap expands beautifully from there. A 30-day plan, weekly reviews, and even adjustments for travel or chaos with a resilience kit. Oh, it's truly a comprehensive blueprint for building lifelong habits.
Exactly, you start with keystone habits across domains health, focus, and learning. Then you design cues, implement stacking techniques, and even add in a little pleasure with temptation bundling. Each layer supports the next.
Yeah. I also love the idea of social scaffolding, a check-in buddy, even if it's just a simple sentence or emoji exchange. That accountability factor really enhances consistency.
For sure, and don't forget the seasonal upgrades, which keep your system fresh. Revising 1 week cue, swapping vague habits for crisp start lines, and introducing a playful twist to prevent boredom. It's a refresh that keeps you evolving without overhauling everything.
Uh-huh. So, in a nutshell, the whole blueprint is about building a mindset, setting up a habit OS that adapts to different people and contexts, and securing that daily consistency. Yeah, because small promises kept daily really do become empires.